Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Voices for Change 2.0, the mental health podcast that's changing the discussion one voice at a time, featuring guests that will help end the stigma and keep talking mental health. And now, here are your hosts, Rebecca and Joe Lombardo.
Welcome to Voices for Change 2.0.
Hey guys, welcome to Voices for Change 2.0. Today on the last Saturday of June.
Oh, geez, it is, isn't it?
In the year of our Lord 2020. And hope you can hear us. We're having some technical issues over here, so don't know if you're actually hearing anything or not. But we're gonna act as though you can and assume that you can hear us.
Yes, we can hear.
Okay. Yay! Okay, cool. You can hear us.
That's good.
I don't know what I was gonna say. All right, so never mind. Yeah, this is live radio, people. This is flying by the seat of our pants, and so we're doing good. We're okay. We're all okay here.
We're hanging in there.
How are you?
A lot going on.
There has been a lot going on, and there's going to be a lot going on for us too. During the course of the week, Beck and I have resolved to start getting things cleaned up and in a better state of mind and a better state of being, and get ourselves in a better state of being. So that said, I'll be spending all day in the basement getting it cleaned up and cleaned out, and
get the treadmill so it works.
Yep. We've got a big heavy bag for punching on in the basement.
My heavy bag. I love that thing. I just don't ever get to use it very much.
Yeah. Part of the reason being that there's stuff all around it. So I will be clearing out said stuff and just making every possible effort to get that area of the house in a better situation so we can start getting ourselves healthier. Because let's face it, we're not getting any younger.
No, that's for sure.
And I told Beck last night, I want her around for another 4 years, and I want to be around for her for another 4 years. And I think the only way either of us are going to do that is if we take the initiative to be more active and do more physically, get moving, start up our yoga program again, and just pretty much make it a priority to live for each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And if any of you are curious about or you're looking for a new fitness program, or you've heard about DDP yoga and you're not sure about it, it's definitely worth the money. When we were doing it actively before I got hurt and then Joe got hurt, it was really helping us out a lot. So check it out. It's a former wrestler, and we love wrestling. So
we do love our wrestling.
So it's a former wrestler named Diamond Dallas Page, and he's come up with this yoga program that you can start at the very beginning, like with a chair next to you, and go all the way up to, kicking butt.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
Jeez. All the way up to the most advanced program. So, and that's an all-in-one set of DVDs. So,
yeah, it's for sure a great program, and we've actually talked to DDP in the past. He is quite a colorful character.
Yes,
and,
he is.
We
had him on our show. I've talked to him on the phone before. He was gracious enough that when I reached out to him about my situation, that he actually called me.
Yeah.
And he talked to me about my situation and everything that was going on. And of course, I'm fangirling out the whole time, like da 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 da. And that was very exciting for me. And then we had him on our show a while back. It's been a while now.
A couple years now. Yeah.
And well, I was so afraid we were going to get kicked off iHeartRadio because he was dropping F-bombs left and right.
Yeah. He, like I said, he's a colorful individual and definitely some great stories. But the program itself is excellent. Go on YouTube, look up, just put in DDP yoga, and you'll see some really inspirational stories on there, like about this one gentleman named Arthur.
Yeah, you can't miss Arthur's story.
Yeah.
He's amazing, and he's training now. He's one of the trainers, and he started out on crutches. Yeah,
he was virtually immobile and went from that to now is a trainer of DDP. He lost a ton of weight and can do all this physical stuff. He's incredible. He's totally an inspiration. Mm-hmm. He'd be somebody good to have on the show sometime too.
Yeah.
If we could ever get a hold of him. So that's if you're looking around for something that isn't high impact but definitely works, look into it. Okay, and that's all we're going to say about that.
Yeah.
So.
But let's get on with our guest for today.
Let's get on with the getting on.
Yeah, we are very excited to have her back on the show. She is a friend of the show, and we've been debating all morning whether or not she's been on 2 times or 3 times.
Yeah.
Joe thinks it's 3, and I think it's 2, but nevertheless, we're excited to have her back on the show again. So,
she is a mental health advocate. She's an author. She's cute as a button.
Thank you.
And please welcome to the show, everybody, the lovely, wonderful, and talented Ms. Hannah Blum.
Oh, hello, guys. How are you? It's 2, by the way. It's 2.
Is it 2? Okay.
So is today the 3rd time then?
Yes. 3rd time's a charm.
I was right.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
That's what we were debating.
I'm glad I settled that out. Oh, my gosh, I'm so happy to be here.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's been like a couple of years. I've been waiting for this day.
How have you been?
I've been really good. I'm in California, so I moved out to California, like right during the quarantine type of thing. But, I'm doing great, honestly. I can't complain. I'm really grateful for everything, just with everything going on in the world. I think waking up is a blessing, so.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's actually, in this day and age, that's a great attitude to have. It's like, oh, my eyes are open again.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's all you can do. But you can send out some, you can still be grateful. I know it's hard sometimes to even get out of bed, but everything is good. Everything is good. I can't complain.
Good.
Well, good.
Yeah, we're finding out that the older you get, the more exponentially it sucks getting out of bed.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I have that to look forward to. Thanks, guys.
Yep, absolutely. I tell people this all the time. When I was younger and growing up, nobody older in my life ever warned me that getting older sucked. They left me to figure it out for my own. And I have, and it does. It sucks. I'm sorry. That's my personal opinion, and if that offends you, I'm sorry, but maybe you need to be offended. But yeah, it's so now I take it upon myself to warn everybody that's way younger than me that stuff starts breaking when you turn 30, and it gets worse when you turn 40. And so it's a drag, So
it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, so I especially the 20-year-olds that I encounter like through work and stuff, I tell them, look, enjoy your 20s while you got them, because eventually the stuff you're doing now is gonna hurt.
Oh God.
Yeah,
oh no, I can only imagine.
Yeah. You when you can go to sleep and hurt yourself while you're asleep. Yeah, that's some messed up stuff right there, and that happens to both of us. We'll wake up, and like yesterday, Beck wakes up. Why does my eye hurt?
Yeah, I have like a scratch on my eyeball. Why that happened or how it happened is beyond me. It feels a little bit better right now, but if I go to sleep and I accidentally lay on the right side, which is where the scratch is, I wake up and I'm in hell. So and it's like it's under my eyelid, so I have no clue as to how it possibly happened. But anyway, that's enough of our pissing and moaning.
Yeah. So yeah, this is all stuff you get to look forward to, Hannah.
I'm so excited. Thank you for that motivation.
Well, that's what we do. We motivate. So where in California are you now? Because that's awesome that you're out there.
Yeah, so I am in San Diego. What is it? The sunshine? No, that's Florida. But I'm in San Diego, and I really like it. I love it.
That's awesome. My cousin lives in San Diego. If her coffee shop was still open, I'd send you there. But I think it was called the Lazy Hummingbird. And, she was real proud of it and stuff. I don't know what she's doing now. The last thing I saw online from her was she was looking for an RV. So I don't know if she's going to go traveling or what she's going to do.
Last year we went to Laguna Beach for a mental health conference.
Oh.
And we fell absolutely in love with it, with the resort, with Laguna Beach.
Yep.
It was absolutely amazing.
Oh, it's cool. I mean, you can't complain. Like I'm an East Coast girl, at heart, but or a Southern belle. I've got that mix going on. But the thing is that so when I came to California, I was one of those people that was like, I'm an East Coast girl, but it's beautiful here. I mean, you can't deny it. Like the weather, and honestly, like I feel that my mental health, right, has even improved because I was able to I'm like in a place where the sun is always shining through and I have my doors open. I shouldn't say that for people out there. They're like, oh, she keeps her doors open. But no, but in the sunlight comes in and, like I've been going up and down. I think everybody has, right? And it's been nice to be here because I don't know. It's helped my mental health definitely during this time.
That's
awesome.
Good. That's good. And I want one of the questions I was going to ask you. We're going to actually skip our first one for now and go right to the second one, which is, what kind of impact has the pandemic had on your mental health, and what are you doing to cope?
Yeah. So, I can't, it's always difficult, right, because I've always gone through highs and lows, and so I don't think I'll really, really know exactly how the pandemic has affected my mental health until we're way out of it. You know how sometimes it takes, like, being out of a situation to look back and be like, oh, wait a minute, I did not feel well during that time. I think I'll have like a better idea later on. But I will say, I mean, I think personally I feel really lucky because as someone living with mental illness, I've been okay. I mean, I work from home anyways. I'm lucky that I've been able to keep my job. And when you're creating, I mean, you guys know, even in the podcast, when you have a job that's centered around creativity, you can entertain your mind with anything, with a lot of things. Like I can write, I can do this, I can do my blog, I can do this. So I've been filling my time up with that. But so I haven't, it's been okay. It's been okay. I've had a couple of instances, like there was, which I don't even know if it related to quarantine, but I had jumped off my meds for like a week or two, which was the most insane idea. And I don't know why I did it. I'm still trying to figure that out, but that could have had an effect on it maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens with us whenever one of us runs out of our meds and it's too early to get it filled. I know for me, I'm sweating it because I'm like, all right, how am I going to become unhinged? Yeah. And same thing with Beck. She'll if it's too early. We had this problem in the past. It's not so much a problem now, but in the past she had this very difficult doctor that she has a hard time getting out of the house. She just does. She has agoraphobia and so getting out to see him would be difficult, and she would need a refill, and he'd be like, well, you have to come see me to get the refill. And she would run out of her medication for 2 weeks because she couldn't get in to see him and start going through withdrawals, and that's just, it wasn't cool. So the doctor that we have now is awesome, and
she's amazing. I am so blessed with that. It took 20 years to find her.
Oh, Rebecca, it's nuts. That's the true insanity there, is what we have to deal with when it comes to doctors, psychiatrists, and all of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the... Yep. Are you there?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I said, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. We can hear you now.
We can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I was just saying that, it's like unacceptable for it to have taken that long, 20 years, to get a proper doctor. I mean, I get it didn't take 20 years, but it took way longer for me too than it should. It took, 6-7 years. And I'm exactly right there with you. When you get a good doctor that you're with, it is the biggest blessing.
Yeah, it really is. Right now we're doing, online appointments. And she lets me text her if I need a refill on something or something's going on. And that's just, it makes things so much easier for me because I'm just not that outgoing of a person, and I don't like to make phone calls, and
yeah.
I'm really it's just terrible with me.
The phone. I find that a lot of people with mental illness really struggle to have conversations over the phone, because I really struggle with this as well, and I know like a bunch of other people with bipolar disorder, they don't answer their phone. They have this anxiety as well about like talking over the phone. Do you get that? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, absolutely I do. And it feels so ridiculous to look back on it and to consider it. It just feels like the most ridiculous thing, but I just can't seem to do it.
Yeah, I get it. Hey, at least you're honest about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and it's funny because I usually end up being the one talking on the phone. Like, I'll handle phone calls for her and stuff, and sometimes we'll get people, well, is Rebecca available? I'm like, oh, this is her husband. Yeah, but is she available? I'd like to talk to her. And it's like, well, you can talk to me. And
put on a girly
it's
voice.
funny because sometimes,
yes, this is her. Can I help you?
But, it's just, but you do what you have to do to accommodate things, and I think she and I actually divvy up pretty well the ways to communicate, because I tell everybody to email her instead of me, because I'm terrible with email. I'm not the guy. She'll tell you I've got thousands of emails unread in my account.
Yeah,
he really does, literally thousands.
Yeah, I'm terrible with email. And it's just, I get so much junk email. It's crazy.
Yeah,
so,
the junk is a killer.
Yeah, so for me, I can't justify taking 2 hours to clear out my email, so it just keeps piling up and piling up, piling up. But I'll handle the phone calls all day, and I know she appreciates that. And once in a while we'll reach a situation where I can't, if I'm at work or something, and it's like, I'm sorry, babe, I can't call you. You have to,
Mhm.
So are you still blogging and or vlogging?
Yes. Okay. So I still have my blog, Halfway to Hannah. I am actually going to. I haven't posted. I need to start doing. I've been really busy, and so it becomes difficult when you're the only contributor. Obviously, it's my blog, and I have guest features, but I haven't been posting as often as I'd like. So this summer, I'm going to start getting back on it on a weekly basis. But it's still there. It's got new content on it. I've got my blog now. I do not vlog anymore. No, I stopped about a year or 2 years ago. I love doing videos, and I have a YouTube channel, but honestly, it needs a lot of work. But I love being on video. I love doing videos. It's just, for me, the vlogging, when it came to sharing my life with bipolar disorder, it didn't feel natural. It didn't feel natural for me personally. And I felt like I was putting on a show a little bit, and, like, hi guys, it's Hannah and I have bipolar disorder kind of thing. And I decided to take a step back for a while until I could learn how to vlog in a way that I felt like I was being more honest about everything and getting really personal. And everyone thinks it's crazy. Everyone, my little cousins who are big social media people and everything, and on YouTube, they're like, oh my gosh, Hannah, you've got a vlog, and maybe I will start again. But there's so much going on right now with just mental illness and mental health that has to be addressed, like big time. So I really just want to focus on that and, activism right now versus anything else. That was a long story about the reason why I'm not vlogging. Obviously, I had to get something off. I had to get something off my chest. But that's
it's absolutely fine. Yeah, and I get that. There's that part of you that feels like you have to put on a performance. That you're not over the top about something, then you feel like you're shortchanging whoever's watching your video. And being able to come to terms with, all right, I don't need to do that. I just need to wear my heart on my sleeve and put myself out there like this, and that's really hard to do. It's a very vulnerable feeling. And, that's one of the many reasons I don't do anything video-wise, besides I feel like I have a face for radio. But it's just, but yeah, I just, being a performer, it's, there's two personalities to it, and you've got, when you're a performer, you're on, and you're, it's you at 10 plus level. And when you're not performing, then you're, completely a different person, and you see that across entertainment,
we're
you hear about it
every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all wear masks. We all wear masks.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to start doing it again because, especially, I know that I don't know how to refer, but I guess my audience, right, or the people in the community, I know that they do like when I do videos and stuff. So I'm going to start doing them again, and I'm excited. It's just, when the timing is right. I don't I think when you start to get into the video thing, you have and you get, if you gained a following and stuff, then you've got the pressure to stick to the mold of what's like you're doing. And so we'll see. I definitely will be doing more. I just have to, especially after quarantine, honestly. This has kind of put everything on hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah. It's, well, you know, it's easier to justify being able to take a step back on a situation when you have quarantine, because it's like, all right, now I'm confronted with, you know, this being my new normal, you know, going out versus not going out, doing this versus doing that, all sorts of different things. And you have to stop and reassess and figure out, all right, how am I going to work around this? You know, it's there's a part of me that's actually kind of happy this whole thing happened. You know, happy's the wrong word, because, you know, my heart breaks for the 122,000 plus souls that we've lost in all this thing. But, you know, just the fact that it's forced everybody to stop and take a look at what's going on and take a look at ourselves and, you know, maybe take a breather and reevaluate what our priorities are and what we want to do and what we need to do. You know, it's a benefit, you know, and the planet's benefited from it. You know, pollution has gone down from it. Yeah, you know, so that's some good stuff that's been associated with that. And on that note, we're going to take a break. So
yeah, we're going to take our break. So we will catch you on the other side of Brandon Stanso. I just want you to be happy.
It was hard to come home to see the closet half empty. That old denim jacket was all that you left me. Pictures are gone, just a nail on the wall. It's like you never lived here at all. I go out with my friends, people ask how I'm doing, but my heart's not quite done. I try not to lose it. I run to the bathroom so they don't see me cry. The truth is that I'm not alright. I tried to write you a letter, say all the things I need to say. Thought I would feel a little better, but at the end of the day, my broken heart wants to hate you, but all I keep coming back to is even though you really hurt me, I just want you to be happy. And letting you go, that's when I knew I must have really loved you, 'cause even if it don't involve me, I still want you to be happy. I can honestly say it was good till it wasn't. Thought I'd see you this weekend, didn't see this coming. You're working through something, but you said that you'd try. So concerned that you'd hurt me, it hurt more that you lied. I kept a shirt and a sweater, this close to throwing them all away. Thought I would feel a little better, but at the end of the day, my broken heart wants to hate you, but all I keep coming back to is even though you really hurt me, I just want you to be happy. And letting you go, that's when I knew I must have really loved you, 'cause even if it don't involve me, I still want you to be happy. And if you're anything like me, time can kill the memories, so don't forget we used to be so good. It's not but finding someone new if he don't love you like I do. Please remember that for me if you could. My broken heart wants to hate you, but all I keep coming back to is even though you really hurt me, I just want you to be happy. And letting you go, that's when I knew I must have really loved you, 'cause even if it don't involve me, I still want you to be happy. I still want you to be happy. I just want you to be happy.
Hey, welcome back to Voices for Change 2.0. I'm Joe. She's Rebecca. She's the love of my life. She's my little cutie patootie. My little sexy pants. That's her.
You're on too far now.
She's the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I love her. So
I love you too.
And I will never stop saying that on this show or any other time.
My
And on the line, we have the beautiful, lovely, and talented, and wonderful Ms. Hannah Blum.
Thank you. So happy to be here, and thank you for hitting me with those compliments. Always nice.
Well, that's what we do. Hey, I wanted to ask you before we're going to jump into your book in a second, but before we do that, I wanted to ask, as we were talking about before the break, not my loss of voice, but how hard it is finding a doctor. Being that you've moved now to California, how has been the doctor search for you? Has it been difficult, or were you able to find a good one right away, or is it still a work in progress? What's going on with that?
Yeah. Definitely it took a little bit of time. I mean, like we were saying before, when you find the doctor, right, you build an extreme connection with them because you feel like that's rare to come by. So in North Carolina, I was like crying, like holding my, psychiatrist's legs, like begging, I'm like, because I've been with them for, for 5-6 years, and they changed my life. And so, I was like a little kid. They're like, Hannah, we need to branch out sometimes, don't be scared, because I struggle, and I'm very open about this now because I think that it needs to be recognized immediately, is the fact that the mental health system and a lot, I'm not saying all, but the access to good and really, good treatment is very difficult. So when I came to California, I was very nervous about starting over that search. I did end up I was actually, if you can believe it, I was going back to North Carolina like every 3 months. And then at one point,
wow.
my psychiatrist was like, this is enough because you're living out there now. Like, get it together. So I found, she was like, this has gone too far. Now I'm not even allowing you back because this is crazy. And so I have an aunt and family here who's absolutely wonderful. And Rebecca, it seems like you guys work together. I know you and Joe, right, work together. So she was really the one that was like, we've got to find you someone. Here's the list of numbers. And I found someone. We've got, the great thing is it's not as difficult for me because I've gotten to a point where I'm decently educated about what works and what doesn't. And so I don't go in now to doctor's appointments like I go in telling them first what I am on, what's been working, and what my objectives are with treatment. So that's a lot easier when you're going in kind of like, I don't know, when you've got to start that process. So it was pretty good. I'm really happy that I found someone that, we're not BFF or anything. She's very nice, but, we get the meds taken care of and we move on. I struggle to trust people, like the mental health system, so I kind of like that little bit of distance now, which I need to get it to. I a little bit more trustful probably, but whatever. I guess that will come with time, just like age and falling apart, just take me out.
Yeah, my doctor, it's so funny because sometimes she will ask me, if she's put me on something, she will ask me and say, do you have something else that you want me to put you on? Which I have never experienced before.
No.
And it's amazing because sometimes there is something else that I want her to put me on. Like I'll do research and I'll find something that sounds like it'll help me more.
Yeah.
Or, and this is funny. You're gonna laugh at this, but have you ever heard of what is it called?
What?
The Jason and...
Oh, Thorazine.
Yeah. Have you heard of Thorazine?
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's been around for a really long time.
Yeah.
Well, I was joking around, and they put the girl in The Exorcist and Jason from the Friday the 13th movies.
Oh, Lord.
And Michael Myers from Halloween.
And Michael Myers from Halloween. They put them all on Thorazine. And I said, well, hell, if they're going to take it, why don't I try it? And I actually went to her and asked her if I could go on Thorazine, and she said yes. And I am now taking the same medicine that The Exorcist.
Hey, not many people can say that in their life. That's pretty epic. That's pretty epic. I think that's great.
And it works. It's doing its job.
Yeah.
No, I mean, listen, good for you. Well, the biggest thing from what it sounds like, and just, you know, having my own experiences, right, is that this woman, or she's a woman, I guess, but it's that she's treating you like an individual, and she's not treating you like you're stupid. You know what I mean?
Yes,
she's
exactly.
saying this is, exactly. Like, it's so condescending when you're sitting there and they act like you've never heard of a medication, and they don't allow you to even have a voice in your treatment. And at one point, and I think I've talked about this maybe on your show before, I was done with it. You know, they don't give people with mental illness a chance to have their own voice and say, wait a minute, like, I'm your client. Like, no offense, but, you know, you're working for me a little bit. And I know that's, like, a little bit messed up in some ways, but we're not treated like that. We're not treated like that. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that you do your research, and she treats you like an individual, and you know yourself better than anybody. So she's going to she's going to trust you, and that changes the game with your mentality about yourself too.
Mhm. It's gotten to a point now where, you know, usually I dread going to the doctor. I dread getting ready and going out anywhere. And, you know, like I said, right now we're on video appointments, but we'll be back going to see her in person eventually. And she's the one doctor that I've had that I don't dread going to see.
Yeah.
You know, I feel heard. She's kind. She's
compassionate.
She's compassionate.
Empathetic.
Yeah, it's just, I just feel so lucky. And now that I'm thinking about it, I should send her something.
But the thing is, the fact that we even have to say, right, we're so lucky, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh my God, guys, you know, I got a golden ticket. You know, like, I actually found a doctor that wants to help me and doesn't treat me like a number. And, you know, it's like when you're thinking, when that's a rare story to hear, when it comes to an illness, a condition, however you want to refer to it, that's a huge indicator that there's a problem. And it's a problem that for some reason we're not acknowledging.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Agreed.
I would have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
That was my little.
So we're gonna change things up because you wrote a book.
Yeah.
Oh,
And congratulations,
indeed,
by the way.
I did.
Your
I
book
wrote
is
a
called,
book.
You did. Atta girl. Well done, you, as they say in Britain. The book is called The Truth About Broken, the Unfixed Version of Self-Love. Where did the inspiration for it come from?
So the inspiration, well, first off, it's always been, it was a secret dream of mine since I was a kid, but I always wanted to publish a book. The motivation, though, really behind it and the timing that I did it is once I, gained, a decent following, I was able to really get an idea of what was going on in the community. And I saw the problem with how people were on this road to fixing themselves and not being allowed to live as a person, not allowed to live as who they are, and trying to, I saw that people with mental illness had the right to self-love completely taken away from them the minute they received a diagnosis. And that really bothered me because we throw this word self-love around, but we don't really know what it means. It's referring to, healing yourself, when I don't really believe that. And when I saw that in the community, I knew that I had to step up and finally release the book where I shared stories and my quotes with the intent to empower individuals with mental illness and without mental illness. I also want people to hear a different side of what happens in our lives and who we are and the beauty of us. I mean, so that was the real motivation, is to get it finally put together and out there, because I think every person with mental illness has about 50 books on their Google Doc, waiting there. But I put it together because I saw the struggling not only with people with mental illness, but with people that just have struggled with their mental health or struggle with emotions. And I said, it's time to get this done. It's game time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
Thanks.
And that's the cool thing too, is you see that with a lot of people in our community is, because we all have different perspectives, we all have different points of view, we all see different things that we feel need addressing or need the spotlight shown on them. And the fact that you had that for you, and that's how the book came about, that's great, because that's going to be so beneficial for people. And that is something that falls by the wayside, is our ability to love ourselves and find value in ourselves, and be able to say, well, yeah, I suffer from this, but I am more than this,
Absolutely.
And I said that years ago when Beck and I got together. She suffers with bipolar disorder and anxiety and all this stuff, but that doesn't define her. That's just a part of who she is. And
Exactly.
Being able to recognize that in ourselves is paramount.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. We that's and the like what you first said, right, is I love the advocates, obviously including you guys, because we all play a very different role, like in what the way that we're going about it and our messages. Like, there's so many elements that need to be recognized with mental health, and I do believe that a lot of advocates, we've kind of taken our own little role in what we're really focusing on. And this is where I feel like Because let me tell you something, I don't even know how to write a petition. I don't even know how to speak. Like I have friends that are advocates, they're on the political side and that because they're really educated in that area thing. I can't do that. You know, I'm not going to thrive there and do my best as an advocate in that area, but they will. Like this area, and I think that's a really powerful thing.
It is
for sure.
It is absolutely. You know, you find what suits you, and that's the avenue that you go about. You know, for us, it's the podcast, and it's, you know, bringing awareness to different types of mental illness and talking about it and shining a light on it.
That's right.
And putting the hashtag out there, you know, and that's for Beck, it's her writing and her blog and her book. You know, and we all find different things that speak to us that we feel passionate about, you know, and, you know, that helps make us all more than, you know, what we suffer from.
Oh my gosh, beyond. I mean, we're world changers. That's really together we are, and it's time, and that's a beautiful, you know, that's a beautiful thing.
It really is. It really, really is.
Where can our listeners get your book?
Yeah, so you can get it on Amazon. It's in Kindle, and it's you know, it's in paperback and stuff. It's the paperback. It's only $9.99. Not that I had to say that, but I sound like a car salesman. It's like, hey, you know, meet me in the lot.
But wait, there's more.
Exactly. It's on Amazon, and it's called The Truth About Broken. So, you know, I hope anybody that reads it connects with it in their own way. Like I said, it's a book that was not just made, obviously, for people with mental illness, because I wanted to bring people without mental illness into the conversation, but it's based on my life with mental illness. So it's this subtle way of people of reducing stigma by people reading it that don't live with mental illness. They're able to relate to the fact that, oh, we're not so different. Because, like, you know, I mean, we are in many ways, but people think we're just, like, way out there, okay? Like, they have no comprehension. You asked me where it was. How did I even get into that? But the thing is that, Amazon. I went off into my own wonderland.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
So what's next for you?
Oh my gosh. I've got let me see, on my Hannah's things to do with the rest of her life listed. There's about 80 million things. I think the next big thing is that, I'm going to be releasing another book. It's going to be a poetry and quote collection with custom art. And that will be coming at the end of the summer. I'm releasing a children's book that will be really fun. And then I think the next big project for me is that I want to start getting a little bit more out there. I think you guys know that, like, when you're really, I know you struggle with agoraphobia, Rebecca, but I think you'll understand as well that you're trying to build yourself and build a career out of becoming an advocate, and it kind of keeps you in. You've got to just be hustling. And so the next thing I want to do is I want to get something a little bit more tangible. Like, you guys have the podcast. I want to get something more concrete. So I think I'm going to start doing series of videos that really explore mental illness. And then I also, so I want to start I'm going to release a video series at some point. And I want to get something more tangible where I'm out in public, and I'm still trying to kind of figure out exactly what that is. But when I do, I'll hit you on that Twitter.
Yeah, because we'd love to have you back on again.
Yes.
Yeah,
we want to highlight everything that you're doing.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So, you know what? I was gonna. There's a lot I'm trying to do. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I would love to start a foundation, but I don't think that's going to come for a longer time. But I would like to establish something, right, where people with mental illness have a space where they can creatively express themselves, whether that be through book writing and publishing or something else, because I think that's a game changer when you can get your truth out there. So
yeah,
I'm on that
I would agree with you there.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be huge too. You know, it's especially you mentioned publishing. That was one thing we ran into, you know, a few years back when we were trying to get Beck's book published was, you know, all these hoops that people had to jump through. You had to have literary agent, you had to have this, you had to have that, and you had to, you know, hope and pray that, you know, they would actually like what you wrote. And, you know, we were actually told by one publisher that they had shut down the division that her book would have fallen under, which was like
after months of telling me that they were going to publish it.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, and so we finally got it to a point now where we've got, you know, we publish it ourselves, and, you know, it for us it's a lot less of a point of frustration insofar as having to rely on people that don't necessarily know what they're doing,
right?
Without getting too specific, you know. But
absolutely.
I think that there is a niche for that where, you know, if one of us stepped up and started publishing works that our colleagues in the mental health community were writing, you know, that might lead to something huge.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's I'm glad you said that, because that's kind of the next thing. I want to, now that I've gotten to like a decently stable place, you know, as far as what we're doing here is that what happens next, right? You say and now I'm at a time, and I don't know, I turned 30, and I actually feel like I'm coming into my youth. Sorry, Joe, I know this is like the worst thing I could say, but the thing is that I feel like it's time to start the process of building something that's going to last, that's regarding people with mental illness, and that is an area that I want to explore because it's so important, and it's messed up that they did that to you, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's
what's their name? It's okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've forgotten it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we've been able to move on now, and and it's not quite such an issue, but yeah.
So fill us in on your social media, where people can get a hold of you if they would like to chat with you.
Okay, so yeah, I am a grammer. Love the gram. I love it. I mean, it's just, I think we all have our area like of social media that we thrive in. And it's at Hannah D. Blum. You know, it's my name, Hannah, and then D, and then Blum. And I just started getting active on Twitter again. Literally yesterday, I started following like a sick amount of people and have started posting more. It's at Hannah D. Blum as well, same as my Instagram. And then my Facebook is at Halfway to Hannah. It's still based kind of off of my blog. But, yeah, that's where you can find me. And I'm a writer, and I share quotes and poems. It's like kind of my thing. And yeah. Hit me up.
Sounds good.
That's great.
Yeah. Well,
So-
really quickly, we've got a little extra time. We thought we were running low, but we've got a little bit of extra time. Would you mind giving us briefly, what your advice would be to someone that was newly diagnosed bipolar?
Absolutely. Because, right, you want to give other people the words that you needed to hear. The number one thing I would say before anything is get involved with your community. And when I say that, it doesn't mean, I think people have this idea that means jumping out, side and saying, hey, I've got bipolar, like, let me, or, I suffer from depression. But I mean, really start getting active on researching your diagnosis, looking for blogs, podcasts where people with mental illness are speaking up, following them on social media, because the foundation, in my opinion, and maybe like Rebecca and Joe, you have a different one, but the foundation of getting treatment, of living a good life with mental illness, I believe, is acceptance and embracing. Mm-hmm. Even though not saying you have to be like, oh my gosh, I love being depressed, but in the sense of it empowered. Of course, I don't ever want to glamorize it, but it's just with the intent that I do believe empowerment and embracing and accepting and being around your peers is what helps you see where you can go in life. And when you get a diagnosis, you don't get a pamphlet from a doctor or a counselor. Have you ever been told, even remotely hinted to by anybody, that you had the power as someone living with mental illness to thrive in life, whether that be career-wise? No, you don't. You feel alone. You feel ashamed. And you have to get involved with your peers so that you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is okay. I can accept it. I can move on from that at this point. So that would be my advice. And then the other thing from that is, once you build that foundation, be assertive with treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Be assertive.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Research and go in.
Take the bull by the horns.
Yep. And that's my advice. Welcome to the club.
Awesome.
That is good advice. Well, Hannah, stay on the line. We are going to finish out the show with Where Are You Going to Run To Now by Matt Van Foss.
And we'll see you guys next week.
No, we won't.
No, we won't. It's 4th of July.
It's 4th of July, and we're taking a week off.
We will not be doing a show 4th of July. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Happy Independence Day. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a great holiday. And thanks for being on the show. And we'll see you guys around the way.
Virginia highway, just couldn't sleep in the bed that you made. Where you gonna run to now? Where you gonna run to now? Radio on, coffee black in your cup. Don't know where you're going, only know you can't stop. Where you gonna run